Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. You won't believe what I'm about to show you. I've already taken these out of the box. This is just for effect to show you what we got going on. I have 5 knives here from MIGURON and AIM8. They're the same company. Now these 4 here are going to be in the budget area category, probably $49 to $60 in that range. This one here is going to absolutely blow your mind. We'll get into that here in just a second. And hey, did you know that Jack Daniels died from a toe injury? I had no idea. Now you do. But I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is going to be a quicker video. I'm going to run through some of these knives. Some of them are newer versions of knives that you've already seen. And then, the last one, I'm just going to be salivating all over. But first, I'm going to start out with this one right here. This is the MIGURON Mallory. Would you look at it? Just look at it in all of its Mallory-ness. This one has micarta, and there are a few different versions. There's at least 3 different versions, and I'll put links to where you can go check them out, and I'm not going to go all crazy in this video. Oh, look at that, with all the specs and that kind of thing. If you're interested in the knife, you can click on the link. You can go check it out and see little things that I might miss, but look at this. 14C 28N blade steel, baby. Now, I've had the Mallory in hand before, and if you like a sheep's foot blade, and by the way, this knife, I think this one runs around the 50 to 55, somewhere in the mid 50s mark. And for the blade steel and everything you get, I mean, MIGURON and AIM8 knives, if you're not familiar with them, they're fantastic quality, great quality. They're made well. This one has good lockup. There's no blade play up and down, left to right. It's very smooth. And for what you get, I mean, they're very, very impressive. This one has very nice jimping. Look at that. Some nice jimping on the, ooh, yeah, nice snap. And this one is a good size knife. And just for reference, for the rest of the knives you're going to see in this video, my hand's 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here. And from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger is 7.25. And look at it. Look at all that handle space. This is a really good one. If you like doing utility cuts, this is a great knife for utility style. And, it has enough piercingness. Is that a word? If you need a little more piercingness, it's not super sheep's footy. It does have, by the way, we have a little swedge going on up here. Look at that blade. And before I forget, because I'm trying to go quick, so we don't spend too much time on any particular knife. But as far as, oh yeah, look at that. As far as getting the blade out, what's the word I'm looking for? Deployment. You can reverse flick this. You can slow roll it. You can push button it. Look at this, how fast. Pow! Right in the kisser. This is just a good overall everyday carry. And there's a few different versions. You can get this in blue or black. You can get the black PVD. So this is the black PVD version, but the other versions you can get with the satin and 14C 28N, really nice. I don't know if we can get in there enough for you to see the texture. You can just barely feel the texture on the micarta on this. But that's a very cool knife. This is the Mallory. Now let's get the next one. If you've been into pocket knife collecting for any length of time, you've seen this one. I don't know if you've seen this version, but this is the MIGURON Moyarl with the Damascus. Oh yes, look at that. And spittle. I'm good at that because I project too much. I mean, people say, my wife says, she says, you yell when you do your videos. I can't help it. I got to get the words out of my mouth. And that's just the way it goes. This one right here, these are around, I think there's around $60. I mean, if you've been in the knife world for any amount of time, you know about this one. There's nothing to complain about. This is a beautiful knife. So you get 14C 28N blade steel, and with this one, you get a titanium clip. So this one's kind of a little bit, I'll put a link to a couple different versions. There's a cheaper version, but if you like the Damascus, and I'm telling you, blue and black always looks good on a knife. And these have captive pivots with cage ceramic ball bearings. Look at that, excellent lockup. Super smooth, and the blade on this thing is phenomenal. You can slow roll it, you can flip it open with your thumb, you can reverse flick it, everything about this. And you know what? I do like the feel of this one. It feels substantial in my hand. There's no flipper to get in the way, and if you're not a reverse flicker, you don't have to be. But here's the nice thing, because it's not a flipper, look at all the handle space. You know how big or what the size of my hand is. Look here, you can go like this, your middle finger fits right in that slot. So if you have XL hands, you're gonna have plenty of room. And with this nice, tall, flat grind, it is a slicer. This is an everyday carry folding pocket knife if I ever did see one. And then here's a look at your clip. The nice thing about this 3D milled titanium clip that you don't get often when you get a 3D clip like this is it's reversible. That makes all the difference in the world. That turns this into a lefty knife. So you can carry this left hand or right handed. Me, I like to carry them both. I use the knife with my left hand and my right hand. And of course, I'm a knife nut, so I fill all my pockets with knives. But the action, the ergos, everything about this knife, I don't have to tell you. Otherwise, I'm just letting you know that there is a new fancy Damascus that's been out for a little bit, and I had to get this video out to show you some of these AM8 and MIGURON knives. Now, wait till you see the next one. Now, this is a knife I showed about a year ago. This isn't the knife I'm showing you. I'm going to show you newer versions. This is the more pricey version if you like the Gladiator. This is the Gladiator 2 by MIGURON, right? And look at that. Very cool thumb studs. This one has, let me show you, yeah, S90V, baby. And I actually said in a video that I'm going to do some testing on this, and I still have that on my list. I am way behind. But you know who you are if you saw that video. I still haven't done it yet. But this is the S90V version of the Gladiator. Now, here's the thing. If you couldn't quite get, and by the way, I'll put a link to this one too, but if you couldn't quite get this one, it was a little out of your reach, a little out of your price range, look what they did. Oh, you can get the Gladiator in micarta and 14C28N. Look at this. Oh, yes, look at the blade. You know, I like this blade better than I do the coated one. It looks better. I mean, looks and aesthetics are one of the things that I go for. One of the things that knife nuts go for, right? Here's a look at this micarta. Look at that. Very nice texture. I like that they have the milling pattern in there. So when you're holding it, look at that. I've just learned this recently, how the vertical lines can actually give you grip when you're holding it like this. But this is, man, it's such a good knife. And it's sturdy. It's one that you really want to do some cutting with. And does this one have, this one is not a reversible clip. It's inset into the scales. But you can't reverse it, but it is a deep carry clip. And this one is, it's a more substantial size knife. And let me get you in there and take a look. Look at that beautiful blade. Oh my gosh. This is a gorgeous knife. And you know what? These run for like $49. Less than $50 for the Gladiator 2 is outstanding. I can't remember what the price is on the S90V. If you like to get the El Primo, or if you have the premium and you want one that you're going to use as a banger for $49 bucks, same thing, $50. Look at this. You can get the black or the green micarta. Whoo, mamacita. This is, look how smooth. And a flipper. I love flipper knives. And I like a knife with a nice choil. You can get right up here next to the heel. It's comfortable. There's plenty of room to get, if you have chunkier fingers, I think you're still going to be good to go. I have like medium size, medium chunk fingers. I can still get them in there. And oh my gosh, the style of this knife and the neutral ergos. I love it. Hey, I said it right. The neutral ergos. Hey, do you have trouble saying Robert Palmer? I do. If I try to say it fast, I butcher it to pieces. But before I digress, this thing is absolutely, it's a workhorse for 50 bucks. I don't know how you could pass it up if you want a substantial size knife. And if you have large hands, even XL hands, you're going to have room. Now, as far as your ergonomics, you can feel the edges. These edges right here, the edges of the micarta, let's see if I can get you in there just a little bit. See right there? It is very 90-degree-ish. It's not softened off. Now, you could go across it with, just a little bit of construction paper. What's the word I'm looking for? Sandpaper. You could get some high grit sandpaper and just go like this and take a little bit of that off. But that is something to note, is that is very, see there you go. It's like a table. So if I'm gripping it, I can feel this pocket clip in the back of my hand. Now, the jimping up here does a good job. It's medium jimping. It does a medium job of holding my finger, but I do have to say that this pocket clip is definitely noticeable. I can't call it a hot spot, but it is kind of a warm spot. So you have that as far as the ergonomics. Feeling this pocket clip and then feeling the 90-degree edge of this is something to take in consideration if you're thinking about getting one of these bad boys. Now, here we go. Wait until you see this next knife. Now, I've shown one version of this bad boy, and yes, look at that. That is an absolute beast. Now I have another version of the same knife. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but oh my gosh, the coolness factor of this knife, it just blows me away. This is the MIGURON Arma 2. Would you look at it? Just look at it and all of its Armageddonness. Oh my goodness gracious. This has a PVD coated titanium handle. Look at the thickness. Look at the thickness factor. Oh my gosh. It has a 3D milled clip and look at the diamond pattern. I love what they do with their diamond pattern. It always looks so good. The MIGURON Arma. Now I know they had a Geddon, but I have not seen the Geddon come out yet. It's been sold out for a long time. Are you ready? Now look, here's the two different versions. I don't think this one's available. I did see, I'll link everything that you see in this video. Now see, this one has the cross, like the diagonal milling. This one here has the diamond pattern on it. Oh my gosh. But wait, are you ready to see this blade? Pow! Right in the kisser. Oh my goodness gracious. This is M390 blade steel. And this is just one of the most gorgeous knives aesthetically that you will ever see in all your days. I mean, the chunk factor is absolutely real on this bad boy. And let's look at the fit and the finish of this thing. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful satin lines up there on the flat, and you have like kind of a rounded swedge going on. Look at that beauty. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. You have very usable, aggressive jimping up top, but there is not one flaw in this knife to be seen. Long titanium back spacer. This is a frame lock. It has a steel lock bar insert. This is a captive pivot. It has caged ceramic ball bearings. And yeah, with a knife of this size, I'm trying to back up. I don't want to hit the camera, but with a knife this size, oh my gosh, you know the blade's going to shut on its own. And it is so easy to flip. Let me give you a little bit of acoustics. Oh, yes, it's just that good. And the ergonomics on this one are fantastic. Oh, they feel so good. I mean, this is drool-worthy knives right here. And I don't know that you can get this one or not. If it's available somewhere, I will put a link to where you can check it out. But the MIGURON Arma 2 is just one of those knives that if you want an overbuilt knife, and you're a knife collector, because that's the kind of knife that people want, is something that they can't help but look at and gawk at, and they want to show their friends, they want to talk about it. Oh my goodness. So there is the Arma 2, and then we have the Damascus version of the Moyarl. Let me be really careful while I'm doing this. And then we have the Gladiator 2 with the black and the green micarta. Do I have enough room to show all of this knife coolness at once? Let's see if I can get them all on here. See if I can get them all out here. But I hope you're enjoying checking out some of these knives. I love making this content. You know what? We'll put the two that weren't even a focus of this video. We'll put them on here. MIGURON and M8 make fantastic knives. So you can not only get, like expensive versions, if you will, or the more Mr. Fancy Pants, but you can also get them, $49, $50. I think that's fantastic. This one right here is about 60. These run about 49. This one runs around 50. So they're all affordable. And then you can get the ones that are, just the super fancy materials, M390 blade steel. This one's S90V, or is that what it is? Yeah, S90V blade steel on that one. Let me know what you think. Do you have a favorite out of these? We may very well be giving one of these away on a live stream. You never know. Every Friday night, Beez Blades live at the Hive. Oh, right. You don't want to miss it because, you know, when you leave comments on videos just like this one, if you made it to the end, you never know if you leave a comment when I might be doing a giveaway just, you know, and randomly picking somebody that leaves a comment. But next to where you subscribe to Beez Blades, if you go and hit the notification bell, you have to say that you want notifications enabled in order to be notified a half an hour before the live stream starts. Otherwise, you'll miss the live stream, and it's a 4-hour live stream. You don't have to know anything about knives. You just have to come and hang out. We don't talk about politics or religion. We just talk about knives, new knives that we got, or if your only knife is one that you got at a gas station, tell us about it. There's no judgment, and we just have a lot of fun. So tell me which one of these is your favorite. Go watch this video. You'll really enjoy that. And until I see you again in the lives or the chats or the Hive stream, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.